Mm. Oh. What is up? What is up, people? What is up? What is up? What is up? So much to talk about. So much to talk about. So much. Hey, everybody, as you come in, excuse me. Hello, hello, hello. Shondo in the chat. I will put a Shondo in the chat in just a moment. Trying to get myself situated here. Trying to get myself all situated here. What's going on, people? Let's chat. Let's talk. We got to talk about it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. What is our Gatorade of choice today? It is green apple. Green apple. Gatorade of choice today. Let's get some Shondos in the chat. Hey, y'all. Hey, hey, hey. All right, let's talk about it. Let's get some things off our chest and out our mind, and then I have a call to action. So, listen, in the immortal words of Ebby Reviews, Big Sis. Hey, everybody, let me greet y'all. Let me say hi to some people. What's going on, Chocolate Bay, Chantel, Dez, what's going on, Diamond Ring Dory, hey, Tamara, Miss Old School Peaches, Sly Sylvia, Ivy Brannon, LaDonna, hey boo, hey Abby. I need my mods, Abby, really be, I'm sure she'll be in here at some point. But mods, if you are here, make sure you're looking for, because you can probably imagine in this time that we're dealing with it right now, there's probably going to be a lot of those racist troll accounts, in and around. So make sure that you are watching for them, and you immediately, no questions asked. Don't even bother entertaining them. Just immediately escort them, gather them, please. Nicole Stevens, hey. Sly Sylvia, hey. LaDonna, hey. Rochelle, what's good? Miss Old School, what's up? T Trisha, what's good, boo? Amber Cotton, hey. E Starkey, Classy Coco, hey y'all. Yeah, please be prepared to gather the people. Let me text Ty before he tells me I didn't tell him that I was online, that I'm live. All right. So yesterday, hey New Johnson, hey Loving My Peace. So yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, hey Really B, I'm not sure if you were in here when I said it, but please be prepared, Really B. As you can probably imagine, during these day and ages, the racist troll accounts will be out and about, and please be prepared to gather the people. Please be prepared, mods, to gather those people as they try and come in with their level brand of fuckery. So yeah, let's talk about some stuff. I'm glad that there are people coming in. Let's talk about it. Let's do this. Let's do this. Now let me say a couple things. Oh God, Lord, freaking telemarketers, Lord, what y'all want? As soon as I get ready to talk, a mess. Anyway, all right. So let's do this. So yesterday we called it. We called it yesterday. Yesterday we were here live. And we called it, people. We were having a great discussion about where we are here in these yet to be United States of America. We were having a phenomenal discussion about things that we need to address, issues that we are having, where we are as a people, and where this country is in addressing us as people and letting us simply live. We were having that discussion. And did I not say to you during that live, they're going to find a way to take this down? They're going to find a way to flag this video. Sure enough, yesterday, it wasn't even an hour. It was not even an hour before I got offline. Immediately, you won't be getting, they immediately, even though I didn't turn on the monetization anyway, they immediately, because I knew, they immediately said, oh, you won't be getting monetized for this. We find a copyright strike. I told y'all they were going to do that. Coupled with the copyright strike, coupled with that, okay? Then I wake up this morning to an email, hey, Scotty, saying that my video was flagged and it's not appropriate for children. All my videos are deemed not appropriate for children. All my channel, I clicked the little button where you can say all videos not appropriate for children. But they thought that they would make sure that they let me know, oh, your video has been flagged. I don't even know if the video is still up. I think it's still up. It's just not, it's flagged for not being appropriate for children. Hey, Ty. A mess. A damn mess. I told y'all this would happen. I'm going to tell y'all what this is. Let's talk about this. And I'm glad we got a lot of people coming in. Y'all keep coming in. Please, if you can share this on your page, go ahead and share it, because I have a call to action that I'm going to do. See, we talked about this yesterday. Yesterday, we began to talk about the stamina, the fortitude, and wherewithal that our ancestors had when it was their turn to fight. And I asked the question, would we be up for the task of having the stamina, the fortitude, and wherewithal with which to fight in the way that our forefathers and foremothers fought for us to be where we are today? Would we have that same stamina? I asked that question. Did we not? And so I asked that question again. So here's my challenge before we go down this road, because I got so many things to bring to your attention, so many stories to bring to your attention. I'm not going to even be able to read all of the articles. I'm just going to be able to get to some of the headlines and get to some of the details of some of those headlines. A whole lot of stuff to bring to you today, people. We're here to talk about it today. But let me say this. If you are a current YouTuber, and dare I say the word that we never say on this channel, but I got to say it because that's the only word people understand, content creator. I challenge all YouTubers and content creators that are Black. I said it, that are Black. This is the time for you to say, you know what? Let me put some of the mess aside for a little while. Let me, some of the trivial things that I normally talk about, let me not talk about that right now, because there are other more pressing things. Okay? Let me say, you know what? Enough is enough, and use the platform that I have, because we all have platforms. The protesters have their platforms out there. We as YouTubers have our platforms here. And it's time for us to speak up. It's time for us to use our platform to assist in the movement. We have voices. We have people who watch us. And so it's time for us to pick up the mantle and say, yep, it's our turn to, we're joining right on in. I challenge all of us. See, here's what they want you to do. And I saw this on some people's channels. And if I am speaking to you, I'm sorry if I'm stepping on your toes. I don't give a shit at this point, but I'm just going to step on some toes right now. What they want you to do is, I've seen some YouTubers do this. They want you to say, you know what, it's too much for me. I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna just turn off my channel for a little while and take a moment to breathe and just collect my thoughts. This ain't time for that. It's not time for you to take a break. It's not time for you to get off your channels. That's what they want you to do. They want to bother you so much to the point where you get tired and overwhelmed and your emotions get the best of you and you get frustrated. And now you turn your cameras off, you turn off your ring lights, and you say, well, I'm just not going to talk. That is what they want. That's what they want. They're trying to silence us. Why do you think I told y'all yesterday before I got off the live? If it's still up, you could go watch it. I told you what was going to happen. And just like clockwork, exactly what I said was going to happen was going to happen. They hate that they have their little white power and white privilege, and we turn everything that they wanted to just go for their white privilege and we use it for our own causes. They hate the fact that we have so many people doing Black Tuesday protests on social media. They hate the fact that we dare to use our platforms to show how horrible we are as a country, because we're so anthropomorphic as a people and as a society that we dare not speak of all of the atrocities that we have going on in this nation. Hell, we're the same nation that changes history books to make it look in our favor. So I'm going to admonish you, my fellow YouTubers. Don't let these people out here make you so, emotional or so overwhelmed that you close your mouth and they silence you. That is what they want. Do not let these people tell you how you must protest. That is what they want. They are oppressors. They want power. That's all they want. They want to have all of the power, all of the control. They want to tell you how you got to protest. They want to tell you when you can speak. They want to tell you when you do speak what you can speak about. They want to tell you what you have a right to feel bothered by. They want to tell you when you can tell them that they're being racist. They want to dictate every aspect of who we are. They want to silence us. And what has to happen is we cannot allow ourselves to be silenced. Not any longer. This is not the time for you to get bothered because you don't like that Jay Wilson said this, or you don't like that Tracy did that, or you don't like that Lady Nika said that, or you don't like that Fire Babe said that. This is not time for that. Too many more pressing issues going on. Too many more important things going on. Most of us have children that we need to be concerned about their safety, futures, and well-being. We can't allow them to silence us. Matter of fact, we need to have endless marathons of lives. See, here's what happens. And the reason I say endless marathons of live videos is this. A pre-recorded video, YouTube will snatch down real fast, and what will happen is not a lot of people will see it. But a lot of people like to go in and watch lives, and a lot of people can residually keep playing that live over and over and over, where YouTube can kind of snatch down a live video real fast. So that's why I say we should have like endless marathons of lives, of people speaking out, of people bringing real news to the people, of people advancing the cause of us as Black people. Do not allow your voice not to be heard on something that is really serious. You know how people be having 4 and 5 hour lives, cussing people out and going off? This is the time for that. But we need to be cussing out and going off on the powers that be. We need to be cussing out your president over there at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We need to be cussing out Google and YouTube for thinking that it's okay for them to flag videos because we simply want to, discuss and express how we feel. The fact that there is systemic racism in these yet to be United States of America. Do not allow yourselves to be silenced. They want to silence us. And if that silencing And if that silencing comes in the form of flagging your videos and taking it down, if that silencing comes in the form of choking us out and having their foot on our necks until we die, if that silencing comes in them arresting us and putting us in jails, however they see fit, they want to silence us. No, we can't allow it. We come from a race of people that are the strongest the strongest members of our species to walk the face of this fucking planet. We come from a race of people that house the strongest members of our species to walk the face of the planet. Now is the time. All of my fellow Black YouTubers or content creators, if that's what you call yourself, the time is now. Speak out. How do I speak out? I'm glad you asked. Here is what you do. You go on your channels, whatever arena you fall into. If you do makeup, you talk about all of the racist stuff that you found that's going on in that arena, because there's racism everywhere. We need to speak to it and call it out. If there are things happening in your local area that are not being publicized or isn't making it to the local media, you speak out about it. You speak out about it all, the good, the bad, and the in between. And we're going to do some of that today. We're going to speak out about some things. We're going to talk about some things. But what we're not going to do is allow the cowards in positions of power to silence us and tell us that we can't speak out and say when people have done atrocities to us. You know the hell we are. Now this is going to get real uncomfortable for some people. The people descended from the Caucasus Mountains, okay? The people descended from the Caucasus Mountains have, over the history of time, hoodwinked the entire species, okay? Bamboozled the entirety of the species. Let us be clear. We are the superior race. We are the more intelligent. We are the stronger. We are the faster. We are the swifter. Every aspect that makes us a species, we are better genetically at. You're not smarter than us. You're not stronger than us. You're not faster than us. So what you do is you try to put obstacles in our way to try and give you unfair advantages. And yet we still rise, and yet we still achieve, even with those advantages. God forbid if these people descended from the Caucasus Mountains had some of the same disadvantages that we had, they would cease to exist. They'd be wiped out. I'm sorry, y'all. We got to speak truth to power these days. We got to speak truth to these people because it's time. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And for all of those people in whatever sector you profess to be in, you could be in the sports sector, the fashion sector, the makeup sector, the sewing sector, the beef sector, whatever sector it is. If you are a Black YouTuber, it is time for you to stand up and it is time for your voice to be heard. Do not allow our brothers and sisters to be out there protesting on their own. We need to protest too. Damn it, we got a whole lot of content on these here YouTube streets. In every arena of YouTube, we are there. And you see Black excellence all up and down YouTube. So I ask, demand, and beg every member of color, person of color here on the YouTube streets to say, you know what, we're going to put aside what will be our regularly scheduled programming for a while and do our own protest. Well, all we bring to you is putting back in your face this level brand of racism and fuckery that we face every day. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's time. It's time. We talked about this yesterday. We are people of stamina, fortitude, wherewithal, and it is time for us to stand up. Everybody can play their role. Everybody can do something, and it is our time. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel, I admonish you because I'm telling you what's going to happen because the almighty dollar rules the day. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not making this statement that I'm about to make this right now for me, but I'm saying as you go and you see other YouTubers following, what I said, super chat these people, send them the Cash App because I'm telling you, you saw based on those people who are members on my channel, you saw what YouTube is going to be. I posted it on my community wall for my members. They are going to flag videos and take all monetization off because that's their way of trying to oppress us, and that's their way of trying to silence us because they know, oh, if we take away the money that these YouTubers are making, then they definitely won't speak out about these things. They did the same thing with COVID-19. They took off all monetization for those videos, and what happened? People stopped talking about it. People started making up names for it, calling it Miss Rona, calling it the virus, calling it everything. I'm not making up nothing. I'm calling it what it is. It's goddamn it racism, and I don't care if I ever get monetized or not on any of the videos. I don't give a shit. But I would ask those people who may not be YouTubers that if you see your people that you follow, the YouTuber that you like doing those things and speaking out and speaking up, send them a Cash App, send them a super chat, because I'm telling you, YouTube is not an AdSense. Google AdSense is not going to do right by these people. They're going to try to silence them. And the first way they're going to try to silence them is with monetization and taking off their way to get paid for that ad. And they're going to say, oh, that's how we're going to shut them up. They are trying to kill. This is a genocide of our species. The genocide of our species. So everybody can play a part. Even if you just super chat that person, hey, I'm going to just give you a good old $2.99. That $2.99 will go a whole lot further than it, or $1.99 than having nothing. Because I'm telling you how YouTube is going to do this. They're immediately going to start, just like they did with coronavirus. Any video that talks about racism, any video that has language that they deem delves in the line of protest or race or Black Lives Matters and things like that, they're immediately going to flag it and take its monetization down. And I don't think that that's fair to those. And we have to support our own. You know how they say support Black businesses? We have to support our own because they're not going to support us. They're trying to silence us. Now, yeah, but the thing about it is, LaDonna, YouTube has been censoring for a long time. Certain words, if you try to type it in a chat, it won't let you. And it's not that the mods or the YouTuber is not letting your content go. YouTube won't let it go in. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Wake up, people. Wake up. It is our turn. We got our brothers and sisters out there getting pelted with wood bullets and pellets with guns and getting killed and getting beaten with police sticks and all kind of stuff and getting jailed and all that kind of stuff, while some of us sitting back talking about buffoonery and talking about middle school shit that does not matter. It's time. It's our turn. We all have to sacrifice something. We all have to say, you know what? If I don't get monetized, that's fine. I'm gainfully employed somewhere. I'll make it up some kind of way. Y'all, it's getting ridiculous out here. I told y'all. Let me see what the comments say. What y'all said in the comments. I'm not even at 1,000. They have snatched video hours and warned me of content. See? Hey, I am waiting for my doctor to come into the room, but I want to show my support. Appreciate you, Danny. Thank you for coming in. I have just put as on the line. So, fam, if I can do what I did, do not want to hear any excuses. Exactly. We got to start to. It's time. Listen, we come from a group of people that gave up lives for us to be able to do what we're doing. So, hey, Johnny Cage. Thank you. Your dose of football and gaming. Um, I got a couple stories that I want to um read above. I thought I just read what you wrote, Diamond. I read that. I read that. My grandmother was so damn proud of me for protesting last weekend, but I had to remind her that I protested early on in Occupy Wall Street, been an activist. Exactly. I read that, Diamond Dory. I read it. You got to go back. I read it. These platforms are for us to discuss freely. It's like an informal check it out. I'm telling you, they're trying to silence us. We must do better. This is our problem. Exactly. We have to do better because if we're waiting for other people to do it, they can join in, and we want them to join in. And no movement has been done by just us alone as Black people. But if we ain't fighting for ourselves, how dare we expect others to fight with us? If we're not speaking up ourselves, how dare we expect others to speak up for us? You are reaching. Phenomenal Scorpio child. So much. Hold on, y'all. I got a couple stories that I want to bring to your attention because, like I said, I don't want to just get up here and rant for 2 hours, but I do want to bring some stories to your attention because there is a lot going on in these yet to be United States of America. We need to hit them where it hurts in their pocketbooks, and only shop local, people of color owned businesses until we are heard. Not just a day. I am canceling orders left and right. I'm with you. I got a major company that we need to think about canceling right now. Let me say this. Even if YouTube does pull monetization and ads from certain videos because they deem it not ad worthy, they're losing money just like that YouTuber and content creator are losing money is losing money. So if me talking about racism and putting Black Lives Matter and putting Blackout Tuesday in my hashtag means that this is not going to get ads, great. YouTube will be losing money just like I'll be losing money. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We'll do that. That's just fine. So let me get to some of the stories. I see y'all. I see y'all. This is important to me, and this should be important. It should be important to all of us. If you listen, just being Black in America, this is important to all of us because they kill us all. They kill Black men. They kill Black women. They kill Black everything. So um, this has to be important to us. Your life has to be important to you. So if this is not important to you, that means your life is not important to you. The lives of your loved ones is not important to you. This is serious. Just like, and this is what we have to do. This has to be a moment. Just like everybody pretty much broadly agreed that COVID-19 would be something that would permanently change the face of our country and how we went about life as Americans. This also has to be a movement that does the exact same thing, that permanently changes our country and the scope of how we view ourselves and how we operate as a country. I'm just saying. Hey, Nappy Child, I don't even think I said hey to you. Yes, also, let me say that, please. I had the list. Today is election day for several states. Let me tell you the state. If one of my mods could name the states as or type the states in as I named them, today we have New Mexico, um, DC, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, Maryland, South Dakota, Indiana, Montana, and Iowa. All of those states have primaries today. Please go out and vote. If you do nothing else, I don't, if you do nothing else, please go out and vote. The following states: we have New Mexico, we have the District of Columbia, which is not a state, but the District of Columbia. We have Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, Maryland, South Dakota, Indiana, Montana, Iowa. You know, we got a lot of black people in DC, a lot of black people in Pennsylvania and Maryland and Indiana. There's actually, I've learned a lot of black people in New Mexico, way more than I knew. I went to New Mexico and I thought, and I was amazed that there's a lot of black people in New Mexico. And in whatever state you're in, you could be in whatever state. Maybe you are there for work, deployed in the military. I don't care where you are. But if that state is voting and you are registered to vote in that state, please go and exercise your right to vote today. We do understand that a lot of places have closed a lot of polling places because of COVID-19. If you notice, the media is going to do a whole lot of talking about protesting today. Very little talking about voting in the primaries. There are primaries today. Please go out and vote. Please. Please go out and vote. If you have to stand in line, fine. Like I said, our forefathers and foremothers stood in a whole lot of lines. All right. So let me get down to my stories. All right, good, Patty. Do go out and vote. Even if you're not outdoors, taking a stand, ask yourself, how can I take a stand? Check yourself, stand for exactly. And that's what I'm saying, Ivy. Even if you say, maybe I'm not going out there to protest, but like I said, we have a platform, and we got to use our platforms to speak to the powers that be as well. We got to do that because they're going to try to silence us. All right. Okay, good. Nicole Stevens, that's good. Let me get that's good. Chantel. Yes, thank you, PG Hill. Remind people to get out there and vote. They gotta vote. We gotta hit them from all angles. Yep, we might hit them with a bottle or a brick through the glass window of a major business, but we got to also hit them at the ballot box. We got to hit them from all sides. We can't just it just can't be an attack from one side. Got to be an attack from all sides. So definitely we want to do that. Let them go ahead and have their RNC convention there and die from coronavirus. Let some of them might need to die off. Anyway, I got stories, y'all. I got stories. I got stories that I need to bring to y'all attention. I don't want to neglect my stories. All right. So let me see, because there are some things happening out here that you need to be aware of. Let's see. No, I need to move that story over here. All right. So the first story, like I told you, I got a lot of stories, and I don't want this to go too long of a live, but I do got a lot of stories to bring to your attention, and things that we need to stand up for. All right. So here's our first story. Our first story is about I know that we are talking about George Floyd. However, there are others of us that are being murdered all over the fruited plains. So one of my blogs that I frequent a lot has been doing a great job of highlighting stories and things happening across the country to us. 45 Piston states, pay for my job because I'm going all in. So, listen, it's almost 50 million Americans without jobs right now anyway. So, we all in this together. We all broke and poor together. Check your states to see when it is time to vote. Your vote matters. Exactly. I couldn't get all. You are either with us or against us. Be part of the solution, not the problem. Call, email, post on these organizations. If you are part of any organization and that organization has not released a statement about this, or that organization is not on the front lines and telling you to be on the front lines with regard to this, and it is a Black organization, you need to question your membership in those organizations. I know I've reached out to all of my organizations, and they all have been on top of this. So you definitely need to press our Black organizations as well. Have they found 16-year-old approaches? We got some stories here, Danny. So let me get to the first story. The first story that I want to do is of I'm going to do a couple stories of some people who have also lost their lives. Hold on. All right. All right. So the first story is of this young man right here. His name is David McAtee. David McAtee was the owner of a barbecue business where he often would let police officers come and, eat for free because they were, uniformed officers. Apparently, they shot him dead in the streets and made sure not to turn on the body cameras. Here it is. David McAtee, the owner of a barbecue business in Western Louisville, was shot and killed by law enforcement officers on early Monday morning, an incident that's now under state and local police investigation. McAtee was known as a community pillar, said his mother, Odessa Riley. Quote, he left a great legend behind. He was a good person. Everybody around him would say that, end quote, she said. Quote, my son didn't hurt nobody. He didn't do nothing to nobody, end quote. Chief Steve Conrad said in a statement on Monday how someone shot at officers and both officers and soldiers, quote, returned fire, end quote. The identities of the suspect and the law enforcement officers who returned fire have not been released. McAtee's mother and his nephew told the Courier Journal that he was known to feed the police as well. The two said he could give law enforcement officers free meals. Quote, he fed them free, end quote, Riley said. Quote, he fed the police and didn't charge them nothing, end quote. Quote, my son was a good man. All he did on that barbecue corner is try to make $1 for himself and his family, end quote, she added. Quote, and they come along and they killed my son. There won't be any body cam footage because the cops never turned them on. These are the things that we have going on here in these yet to be United States of America. These are the things that we have going on. We are going to continue to call these things out. Now, Patty Duke, there is an update. I was just about to put that up. There is an update. They did fire. Hello there. Hey, hello there. Hello there. Hello there. There is an update. They did fire the police chief. Let me find that story. I do have that for you. Where am I? I had that story. Hold on. I know I got it somewhere. But it didn't go. Wait. To give you an update, yes, they did fire the police chief. Here it is. I found the story. Thank God I found it. All right. Here's the story, and I found the story about the police chief being fired on theroot.com. If you don't follow theroot.com, I mean, you can't be black. You can't be black. But here is that story. I told y'all it's a lot going on in these yet to be United States of America, and I want to bring as much as I can to you. Y'all might not be. Let me do it this way so y'all can see it better. All right. So let's go to theroot.com. It says Louisville police chief fired after it was revealed the officers' body cameras were turned off during David McAtee's shooting. Louisville, like many other cities, this last week was the site of multiple protests against police brutality. The city was marching for both George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. The 26-year-old EMT was killed after Louisville police entered her home with a no-knock warrant and opened fire. On Monday, the Root reported that David McAtee was shot and killed by Louisville Metro Police and the National Guard during their protest on Sunday night. LMPD alleged that while trying to disperse the crowd, one of the protesters fired shots at them. LMPD returned fire, and in the probably fire, McAtee was shot and killed during the exchange. Now the NBC News reports that the Louisville Chief of Police, Steve Conrad, has been fired after it was revealed that the body cameras of the officers involved in the incident were not turned on. Additional audio and video of the incident will be released. Conrad was only weeks away from retirement. Officers have been required to wear body cameras since the March shooting death of Taylor. Governor Andy Beshear has asked Kentucky State Police to carry out an independent investigation into the incident. So we got things going. Listen, we got to speak at this point. We got to speak voice to power at this point. We do have, like I said, y'all, we do have things going on. We do have atrocities happening. Hey, sincerely, Nadia. But we got to continue to call these things out. And until we start to call these things out, they're never going to be, nothing's going to happen. We're going to find ourselves at our own family members' funerals and having our own family members being hashtags, or dare I say, becoming hashtags ourselves. I agree. Hello there. Body cameras should not be at the discretion of officers. I think it should be some type of sensor where every time the officer gets out of his police car, the body camera should automatically come on. Every time he gets out of his police car, turn it on. It automatically comes on. But that makes way too much sense in these yet to be United States of America. Anyway, we got more stories, y'all. We ain't done, y'all. We still gonna listen. We gonna, regardless of how they feel, we're gonna continue to ring the alarm. We are going to continue to raise our voices. We are going to continue to let our voice be heard. Now, Diamond Dory was talking about something about her job, and I wanted to show you all this article that I found as well. That was speaking to that. Let me bring that to you all. It is here. Here we go. All right. I'm not going to play a lot of the videos because I do want this video to stay up as long as it can. So I'm going to refrain from playing a lot of the videos. Because like I said, I do want to try to keep it. If they're going to, shut it down, I want to keep it up as long as I can. Now, the headline says, and this is the young man right there. Watch OKC correctional officer Keval Williams quit his job after being told he couldn't take a knee with protesters. William, who has a baby on the way, explains why he moved. Why the move was a no-brainer. Keval Williams, a black man who is a correction officer for the Oklahoma Sheriff's Department, wanted to take a knee in support of Black Lives Matter after the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Mr. Williams was told no. He then asked to speak to his captain and explain why he wanted to take a knee. He was again told no. Most people that work in law enforcement that could be put in this situation would have just taken that no and continue doing their job. Keval Williams isn't like most in law enforcement, though. Mr. Williams took that no and made the decision to quit his job. 5 minutes later, he was outside protesting with everyone else with a sign that read, "Black lives are greater than white feelings." To make things even better, Keval and his girlfriend are expecting their son in just a few days. Losing his income when he has a child on the way in a few days wasn't his main focus. Neither was losing his income during a pandemic, despite finding a new job being hard. His main focus was to support the people protesting, to show some type of solidarity. Mr. Williams did what people in law enforcement are supposed to do, and that's put their feelings aside for the people they are supposed to serve. And I could continue reading on, but these are the things that we have going on. We got people being told that they have to make choices in keeping their jobs or protesting for their lives. This is what's being happened. This is what is happening, people. This what we got going on. And these yet to be United States of America. This is what we got going on. And I want to highlight, that's why I say there's a lot going on that we're not going to hear. And as YouTubers with platforms where people can watch us, it is our job to bring these stories to light. Here's another story that is not getting a lot of traction, but I found this also on theroot.com, and I wanted to bring this story to you all because we have to begin to speak their names. There's so many names out there, and we don't want to get overwhelmed by saying, oh, it's just too many names. No, it's not too many. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say it's not too many. It is too many, but we're going to speak them all because you're right, it is too many. Let me read this article for you. Dion Johnson in Phoenix, and this came out yesterday. In Phoenix after, outrage in Phoenix after Dion Johnson shot by state trooper who wasn't wearing a body camera. This weekend, protests were held nationwide protesting police violence in the wake of the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor at the hands of police. Unfortunately, another Black life has been added to the list of those taken by law enforcement. Arizona Family reports that Dion Johnson, a 28-year-old Black man, was shot by a state trooper. The trooper noticed Johnson's car was parked in the Gore point of the Loop 101 freeway and was partially blocking traffic. The trooper found Johnson asleep at the driver's seat. According to the officer, a struggle ensued that resulted in him firing his weapon at Johnson. A second officer arrived at the scene and helped remove Johnson from the car. Johnson was taken to a hospital and pronounced dead. On Friday, Sergeant Maggie Cox, a spokesman for the Department of Public Safety, said that there is no footage of the shooting as the officer wasn't wearing a body camera at the time. The identity of the officer has yet to be revealed, but he is reportedly a 15-year veteran of the force. Protests took place in downtown Phoenix over the weekend in response to both Johnson's death and the death of George Floyd that happened during the same week. Protesters are demanding more information be released surrounding Johnson's death. Johnson's mother, Irma, has questions about what led to her son's death. I want to know where was his body camera? I want to know, why did he not call for backup? If he was so threatened, why didn't he call for some backup? It's a lot of questions that are unanswered. It's a lot of things that I want to know that happened to my son in the last minutes of his life. And the article goes on, but these things are happening. These things are happening. These things, I'm sorry, let me keep that up, are continuing to happen. And we got to speak out about it. We got to speak truth to power. We got to talk about it. We have to talk about it. Nappy Child says she just voted. Can we get some Shondos in the chat for Nappy Child, who just voted? Can we get some Shondos in the chat for her? Because we got to celebrate the fact that that we are getting out there and we are voting. So can I get some Shondos in the chat for Nappy Child, please, who just went and exercised her right to vote? Where am I? I'm trying to bring I told you I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to bring y'all this morning. Not all bad. We got some good stuff too. But we definitely need to speak to, start putting these names out there. This was a story that was released yesterday morning. Because it's not just police. We got racists of all type, in uniform and out of uniform. So we got to speak to racism everywhere. All right. Let me put this story up. Let me put this story up. I did see the story about the FBI agent that was arrested. I think I think I know I saw the article, but I'm not sure if I put it up. But let me put up this next one. Um, this is the story of James Skurlock. 22-year-old James Skurlock shot and killed during protests in Omaha. White bar owner allegedly responsible. 22-year-old James Skurlock was fatally shot outside of a bar in Omaha, Nebraska on Saturday night. A man connected to the shooting has been taken into custody. The Omaha World Herald reports that Skurlock was shot and killed during a protest, and the owner of the bar, The Hive, is allegedly responsible. Skurlock was taken to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead, while the unnamed bar owner is being questioned by police. Last night, I lost a son, said Skurlock's father, James, on Sunday. Quote, my kids lost a brother. His daughter lost a father, all because he decided to protest against racism. There's a lot of speculation and rumors about how this happened. I don't really care, to be honest. My family wants closure and peace. What we want is for this to go to court and get a full prosecution. We want this to go with justice and go peacefully. While police have yet to publicly identify the alleged shooter, Omaha World Herald reported that it was Jake Gardner. Jake Gardner. He's also the owner of a second bar in Omaha, the Gatsby, and has described himself as a libertarian in the past. Additionally, Gardner is a former Marine and volunteered for the Trump campaign in 2016, the Daily Beast reports. Officers were not involved in the shooting, and Police Chief Todd Schmaderer called it a, quote, terrible incident. When this stuff is happening, listen, it's not just the people in uniform. You know, races are um, all over, trying to, you know, your president has incited the racists to come out of hiding. They've incited the racists to come out of hiding. And I don't want y'all to think I'm just putting these things up here to cause you to get overly emotional and overwhelmed. What we have to do is, yes, we have to be enraged, but we have to be enraged to action. We cannot allow them to silence us. We cannot just crawl into the hole and into the abyss and say, I want it to all go away, because it's not going to go away. We can't put our heads in the sand. Okay? We can't. We can't do that. Here's some story. Y'all know, like I said, I like to bring y'all stuff from sports because I like sports, and I have a whole section on my channel with my fantasy football and with my bleacher behind the bleachers reports. And so here's a story from the world of sports that I want to bring to you that involves all of this. Where are we? There we go. All right. So, told you it wasn't all bad. USC, that's University of Southern California, released a statement they are revoking LAPD union lawyer Marla Brown's season tickets and returning her donations for saying Black protesters should be shot. Good job, USC. We have to keep putting pressure on all the racist and white supremacists. BSO, that's Black Sports Online, which is the name of this blog that I love, exposed LAPD union lawyer Marla Brown for some racist tweets over the weekend. Ms. Brown wanted protesters to be shot, called Muslims, quote, sand people, end quote, and made racist statements about the Black community. I don't expect LAPD to fire him because they like having a racist lawyer, or her, not him, her, because they like having a racist lawyer on their side. But I am glad USC did the right thing. Brown loved taking pics with Black USC players, but she would have no problem making sure a cop got off if they murdered one. So that is one good thing, and that's her, Marla Brown, racist. So we got, I gotta applaud while I'm bringing out, people who are doing the wrong thing. I gotta applaud when sometimes when there are some things good. If you are an alumnus of USC, go ahead and send them an extra $5 for doing the right thing there. All right. Where's our next story? I'm telling you, I had a lot of stuff this morning. We want to speak. We want to talk about these things. Now, in the world, what's the name of the birds that what's the name of the birds that when you watch the video like on National Geographic and you see the crocodile swimming with his head or the top of his body above the surface of the water and it's swimming, and you have the little bird that sits on top of the crocodile just taking a ride with the crocodile. I think it's called the plover bird. I think it's called a plover bird. I don't know. Anyway, in the world of the plover birds, meaning those black people who attach themselves to white people, trying to cling themselves to the white privilege and white supremacy, like the little plover bird does to the crocodiles swimming in the lakes and water holes. They Oh, what happened to my light? Oh, that's what happened. Do that. There you go. Like, wait a minute, what happened to my light? Well, let's look at one of your people. See this one? Mm-hmm. Him. Mm-hmm. Y'all want to know what his antics was? Mm-hmm. Let's see what his antics was. Yeah, he's gladly accepting this medal of freedom from your president. Tiger Woods' release statement says he has utmost respect for cops and trusts them to know when to murder unarmed black people. Let's flip the page for the statement that he made. Mind you, both of Tiger Woods' parents are people of color. His mom was Asian and his dad was black. So both his parents are people of color. But that's a whole nother scenario. Let me see if I can't get this to come up. Come on, internet. My internet is doing the most. Here we go. See if we can't make this bigger. See if we can't make this bigger. Let's see if we can make this bigger. All right. So here's what Tiger Woods says. Lord. Jesus, keep me. My heart goes out to George Floyd, his loved ones, and all of us who are hurting right now. I have always had the utmost respect for our law enforcement. They trained so diligently to understand how, when, and where to use force. This shocking tragedy clearly crossed that line. I remember the LA riots and learned that education is the best path forward. We can make our points without burning the very neighborhoods that we live in. I hope through constructive, honest conversations, we can build a safer, unified society. Let me help through the bullshit. Let me cut through. Let me translate that for y'all. Like, what he's saying is, I trust the police wholeheartedly. They know when to use the right amount of force. So we don't need to question them. The other part that I'm going to translate, and this is what, when you see people in positions of power and white people saying, don't burn down, you all don't have to burn down your own neighborhoods. That's not what they're saying. They're saying that to you to get you to stop because we're not burning down our neighborhoods. We're burning down their neighborhoods. But then what they try to do is they try to spin it and say, oh, no, don't burn down your own neighborhoods. We're not burning down our own. We're burning down your neighborhoods and your stores. And you're afraid of that. And so what you try to do is you try to spin it and say, oh, don't burn down your own neighborhoods. We're not. We're burning down yours. Don't worry. We are. Where are my mods? Dear God. I don't know who Z Albie is. Where are my mods? Do we have mods in here, or do I have to handle? Let me handle this myself. Good help is hard to find. Damn mods when you need it. All these mods I got. Thank you, Nappy Child. Dear God. um. So let me go to our next story. But yeah, these are the things that we have going on. Y'all know I like to talk about sports when they do right and wrong. Here's another example of sports doing the right thing. All right. Here's another one. I know you're working, but we got Ty in here who ain't doing shit. Ebby, I know you working, but Ty over there playing with himself and not doing his mod duties. Dear God, I know you, Ebby. Anyway, let's read this article. It says Sacramento Kings announcer Grant Napier suspended for telling DeMarcus Cousins all lives matter. Good. Grant Napier is a very well-known sports journalist all over sports talk radio. You hear his name all the time. Several Kings players in the past have had issues with announcer Grant Napier. DeMarcus Cousins in particular hates his guts. So when he asked Napier about Black Lives Matter, it appeared Napier decided to troll him with an All Lives Matter tweet. The joke is on Napier because he has been suspended by the Kings, possibly he will get fired. Don't joke about Black Lives. Okay, please don't joke about us. So that's one good thing. I'm not going to go through all of the tweets and everything because I got a whole lot of stories that I need to get through today. But while we're celebrating some good things, let's celebrate one plover bird in the form of Jason Whitlock, who has been fired. I told you I got a video coming on this young man. You see the black guy with the apron? That's Jason Whitlock. He's a whole ass plover bird. He's a whole ass clown. He's a whole ass just an ass clown who means nothing right by black people here in America. You see him smiling at this white guy trying to mimic my good fraternity brother, Colin Kaepernick. He was here for that and sanctioned that. He's no longer working for Fox Sports 1. Good. Now, he wasn't fired for any of his statements because this is Fox. But he was fired because they couldn't come to terms with contract agreements. Great. His voice doesn't need to be. He does not need a voice on a large platform. Great. I just wanted to, that's an update, but don't worry. I got a whole I have a whole pre-recorded video on Jason Whitlock coming. He's a whole ass clown. Now, here's where I want to spend a little bit of time. Not a whole lot of time, because I know we already been in here for a while, but I want to spend a little bit of time on this. So, take a gander at this fuckery. Twitter reacts to NFL.com listing Colin Kaepernick as, quote, retired, and doesn't use his photo on his official player page. Let me let that sink in. Watch this. See, I love Robert Littal. He be laying it out. He said, Colin Kaepernick is retired. It is just forced retirement by the NFL, even though Joe Flacco is still getting jobs with a broken neck and a bunch of scrub backups, and a bunch of scrub backups keep getting paid. So the NFL has decided, even though my good frat brother Colin Kaepernick is not retired, they have decided, one, that they're going to retire him on their own. Two, they have decided that they don't want you to know what he looks like. So they're not going to. It is the practice of the NFL.com, even for former players and retired players, to use their face on their player profile so you know who they were and what they look like. They have decided in their racist ways, Roger Goodell, that they're not going to do that for my good frat brother, a good Kappa man in the form of Colin Kaepernick. A mess. A mess. Mind you, it came out, I believe it was yesterday, that some of the NFL execs are now talking. They have already let it leak that it absolutely was. I mean, we knew it, but now there's dissension amongst the NFL owners and higher ups, because now it's being released that there was a targeted agenda because they felt like Colin Kaepernick was bad for business, and there was a targeted agenda to silence him and make him go away, which is why he never got another job. I mean, we already knew that, which is what Eric Reed was fighting for, as well as Colin Kaepernick and all of these other things. But y'all can go back and watch my video that I did a couple months ago on Colin Kaepernick. A mess. A mess. A damn mess. A mess. Just the whole way the NFL handled my frat brother is disgusting and sickening. But these are the yet to be United States of America, and we have to continue to speak. Oh, in more news of the police and law enforcement. Oh, because y'all would like to think that this is something relegated only to states and places that are right wing or red places or red states. Oh no. Let me show you this gem. Oh yeah. See that headline? Read that. I'll let you read it on your own. Yep, you read it. Los Angeles Police Department Chief, LAPD Chief Michael Moore, says protesters are as responsible for George Floyd's murder as the cops that actually murdered him. Oh, yeah. This is in Los Angeles. He backpedaled and pussy popped, and he's apologizing for it. Now, let me read the article. It says LAPD Chief Michael Moore meant what he said. I don't care about his apology. He said it with his chest and then pointed out it was a strong statement, but that is how he feels. It was only after he got in trouble with the mayor that he started backpedaling and pussy popping. Quote, I misspoke when I said his blood was on their hands, end quote, said Moore. Quote, but certainly their actions do not serve the enormity of his loss. What his name should stand for is the catalyst for change. I regret the remarks of that characterization, but I don't regret nor will I apologize to those that are creating destruction. His memory deserves better. The LAPD chief affirmed, quote, his death was at the hands of those police officers. What I saw there wasn't right. Now, this is the same LAPD that was responsible for Rodney King some years ago. I'm sure he was on the police force back then too. I'm almost certain. You don't get to the level of police chief unless you done been in the game 25, 30 years. And although Rodney King was 91 or 92, somewhere around there. It was 91, 92. I'm sure he probably was in the police force back then. This is what we got going on because he seems to believe that George Floyd's death by itself would have been the catalyst for change. You know how many people do we remember in the very same I think it was the same city. I know it's the same state of Minnesota. Now it might have been either close to Minneapolis or somewhere around Minneapolis. Philando Castile got shot for no reason, killed dead in front of his girlfriend and his child. Shall we forget? None of this change and none of this conversation is starting to happen unless we start to protest and burn shit down. This is what I'm talking about. They don't care that black people continue to die. It's not until we do things violently sometimes. I'm not saying all the times. Sometimes we can do peaceful protests. But at the moment where those peaceful protests are going nowhere, then sometimes it's time for to wake them up violently. Just a mess. A mess. A damn mess. These are the things that I listen. We got to speak truth to power, y'all. We got to speak. I got a couple more stories and then I'm going to let y'all go because I know y'all got things to, but I had some things to say this morning since YouTube wanted to try and silence me. In the world of companies who we need to begin to mute, here's a company that needs to be muted. Want to see a company that needs to be muted? Here it is. Wendy's. So apparently, y'all who love the square hamburgers should know that Wendy's is donating $400,000 to Donald Trump in his campaign because they see it for him and they want him in power longer. I'm just saying. The group which met with Trump on Monday includes Panera CEO Nirin Chaudhary, Jose Seal, the CEO of Burger King and Popeye's parent company, Restaurant Brands International, Thomas Keller, a fine dining restaurateur, and Mui Koss CEO, James Bodenstedt. Mui Koss operates hundreds of Wendy's, Taco Bell's, Pizza Hut franchises across the country. According to FEC records, Bodenstedt is a major donor to Trump, having donated $440,000, including $200,000 to the Trump Victory PAC on March 12th, just days before states began shutting down in-person dining. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you got your people down at Wendy's. What was the owner name? The original owner who's dead now named? Was it Daniel Thomas? Danny Thomas? Wonder what he has to say about that. Who knows? He might have been racist himself. Who knows? Because Wendy's sees it for Donald Trump. They want him to stay in power. Just saying. Just saying. These are the things that we must speak to. Dave Thomas. There we go. Dave Thomas. Thank you. I don't think they said Panera. There was a meeting with Donald Trump, but I don't think they said that Panera Bread was one of the people that donated. It was the Wendy's people, not Panera Bread. And while we're here, let's talk about some other things that are going on that need to be highlighted. We got I won't put these up, but I'll speak to these. We got protesters in California waving screaming out MAGA and waving American flags, mowing down protesters over in California. There are videos. They're in Visalia, California. Just a mess. Just a mess. And then we have, because Donald Trump wants to call Black Lives Matter domestic terrorists, in the world in that same scope. Now we have this guy. I will show you this guy. Dear Lord, I won't show the video, dear God, but I have to show this guy because this is what we have going on in these yet to be United States of America. This guy, this guy, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, that guy. This guy pulls out an AR-15 and threatens to shoot peaceful protesters in Upland, California, under the direction of Donald Trump. Will the cops do anything to stop this racist white man? Probably not. And there is video of him firing the AR-15. There's video. Just a mess. Now, I wanted to highlight those last couple of things because they're all in California, which is one of the bluest states that we have. So I don't want you all to take your eyes off the prize and think that this is something that is just in the deep South or something that's just in red states. This racism, this level of racism is embedded into the fabric of this country. Even the bluest of states have these same level brand of racists. We got to speak truth to power, people. We got to speak truth to power. I definitely, like I said, I've been on here an hour and 15 minutes. I'm about to get off. I don't know. I will put the link up. I always try to give people an opportunity if they just want to speak or come on and have something to say. Now that I've spewed all my thoughts and comments all into the atmosphere, I wanted to give you all an opportunity if there's somebody who wanted to come on and speak about this. But let me, while that link is going up, let me say this again. My fellow Black YouTubers, now is our moment as well. Now is the time for us to join in with our fellow brothers and sisters out there protesting. It is our turn. Do not allow yourselves to be silenced. You do not cower in fear. You stand up to fear. You do not bow your heads before the people in positions of power. You speak to people in positions of power boldly. You stand strong. It's time for us to put aside some of our lesser important things and speak up. If that means that you have less people in your chats, fine. If that means that the video won't be monetized, that's fine too. If that means that you have to take less super chats and cash apps, that is fine as well. Our sacrifice has to be made. We have to hit it from all fronts. We have to. Now, I hope that because I don't think anybody's coming on, but I hope that as you all leave here and we go about our day, and I hope that you will be invigorated, or dare I say reinvigorated. If the stuff had you overwhelmed, get reinvigorated. I hope that you will begin to say, you know what? Let me join the fight. You know what? Let me start to speak out because things have to change. Just like we had to change our whole existence with COVID-19, we need to change the way we move and change our existence because of this as well, because we are dying, and not from COVID-19 only. We're dying at the hands of our oppressors. Enough is enough. So, we have support from our subscribers. Well, we'll see. But I like I said, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to speak up and speak out. I'm not afraid at all. I don't. Um, I don't care that people are trying to silence me. Thank you, Diamond Dory, for your um, hold on. Okay, I got you. But definitely, thank you for those people who sent me. I did get a cash app from an individual. You know who you are. Thank you so much for your cash app. Thank you so much for that. Um, because somebody did send me a cash app, and I read what you put, so I won't mention who you are. But thank you so much for that. And if anybody else wants to, it will be greatly appreciated. But we're not. We're here for this. I'm going to thank you, Ty, for your super chat. But definitely, if not me, definitely, if you see your fellow, the people who you subscribe to, if you see people on YouTube that are speaking to the people in positions of power, that are bringing you information, that are informing you, that are speaking truth to power, and that are in the fight with us to support this movement to start to move the needle in terms of the systemic racism in this country, I want you all to support them. I want you all to cash app them. And watch this. I prefer you cash app them than super chat them, because if you cash app them, part of that money is still going to go to YouTube and their level brand of fuckery if you super chat them. But if you cash app them, all of that money will go to them, and we don't have to continue to give money to entities that are trying to silence us. There are entities trying to silence us. I have every belief that some kind of way they're going to find something in this video that's going to make them want to flag it or silence me, and that's fine. We'll be here. We will be here. It is my hope to go live again tomorrow. If I do go live again tomorrow, it'll be early. It'll be earlier because my day starts much earlier tomorrow. So if I do go live tomorrow, let me look at my schedule for tomorrow. Hold on, y'all. Hmm. All right. So if I do go live tomorrow, it'll probably be around maybe about 12. I could probably go live for about an hour at about 12. Yeah. Yeah. So, or an hour and a half. I could do about an hour and a half tomorrow at 12. So I might go live tomorrow around 12, maybe 11:30, so I can give it more time. Church lady says they flagged my video too, trying to silence me. So I know you're not lying. I have a video called Dear Sweet YouTube addressing it to happen to. Yeah, absolutely. 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 Church lady read show. And that's why we as black YouTubers um affect the bottom dollar of YouTube and Google AdSense. We affect their bottom dollar. And so because we affect their bottom dollar, if we decide that we're going to protest as well, and we decide that, hey, you say our videos about racism and Black Lives Matter won't be monetized, great. If it's not monetized for us, it won't be monetized for you either, YouTube. Matter of fact, shut off all monetization. How about we do that? Shut off all ads and all monetization. No monetization. So YouTube can't get a goddamn dime. And we will patronize those individuals by cash apping them. But we got to get in this. It's not just going to happen, because eventually, now watch this. Your president has the Senate and members of the judicial branch in his back pocket. So eventually, they're going to find a way to deploy troops to try and get our people off the streets and from those types of protests. So then we have to start to think strategically and look at all avenues and all sides by which we can begin to protest. I think about this. So I challenge all my and I'll send this to them. I challenge all my fellow definitely I would love to see all the siblings make a video today speaking to this. Um Anybody who is a YouTuber, I'd like to see you make videos today or sometime in the near future speaking. All right, it's me D. I'll holler at you later. I'll call you. Um to this because we gotta begin. We have to get in a fight. We have to stand up for what we know is right. All right, y'all. And I'm about to get out of here. Let's get some Shondos in the chat before I get out. Let's get some Shondos in the chat before I get out of here. Somebody sent me a thing on my Instagram for my Cash App is right there. Somebody just sent that to me on my. I'll put it in the chat, but it's scrolling across the bottom. Somebody just sent me a message on my Instagram asking for my Cash App. It's right there, isn't it? Scrolling across the bottom. Anyway, as I always say when I'm about to get out of here, I love y'all. I love on y'all. I thank y'all for all that you do. I thank you all for being vocal, present, active, and involved. Um, we can't get weary in well doing. Please go out and vote. If you are a part of those states that I named earlier, please let me name this. Hold on, let me name those states again. Hold on. I don't want to leave. All right, states that are voting today, please go out and vote if you are in these areas: New Mexico, District of Columbia, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, Maryland, South Dakota, Indiana, Montana, Iowa. If you're in those areas, please go out and vote. Next Tuesday, we got West Virginia, Georgia, North Dakota, Nevada, and South Carolina. Next Tuesday, June 23rd, you have New York, state of New York. You got Kentucky and Virginia. June 30th, you got Colorado, Utah, and Oklahoma. Those are states that are voting this month. Those are the states voting this month. So please go make sure you exercise your right to vote, because we got to hit them, like I said, from all angles. That's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for everything you do. Thank you for anybody who donated or gave me a super chat and so forth. I love you all and I thank you all for it. That's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.